Israel and Hezbollah have agreed to a ceasefire after mediation efforts by Qatar, the U.S., and Iran. The announcement comes as fighting escalated sharply between Israel and Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. The country's Ministry of Public Health says at least 18 people were killed in the overnight attacks and 33 injured. The IDF says it struck 80 targets in multiple locations, killing dozens of Hezbollah members. Israel's far-right security minister has said that all of Lebanon must burn after 4 Israeli soldiers were killed there. To get the latest, we can cross now to Jerusalem and speak with our correspondent, Noga Tarnopolsky. So, Noga, what more can you tell us about this ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel?
Well, it's unclear that it really is a ceasefire, Catherine. We have to say, as I was waiting to join you now, there were sirens again in the Israeli north, announcing to residents that they should go to bomb shelters because there was concern of a drone attack coming in from Hezbollah. This has been a really confusing and very heavy day for a ceasefire in this region. We know through an anonymous briefing from the Israeli Prime Minister's office that Israel does accept this third ceasefire within a ceasefire within a ceasefire that was supposed to have come into effect 1 hour ago. It's not clear that it, in fact, has come into effect. And yet we heard at the same time openly from the spokesperson of the Israeli army that there are no restrictions being placed on its freedom of action in southern Lebanon in order to defend itself or Israeli civilians from threats. So it's really unclear who is accepting the ceasefire and in the name of who. The other thing we should mention, just in terms of diplomacy, Donald Trump issued a very angry or offended truth social post just a few minutes ago saying that the Iranians were desperate. The Iranians were on their knees and not him. This is a response to the really wide-ranging critique against him for having agreed more or less to accept Iran's parameters, certainly for the Lebanese theater. And yet the fact is that is what has happened. And it's difficult to know what his anger or what his peak means, given the fact that Iran's demands really are driving the scene here. The reason I believe that we haven't heard from the Israeli prime minister directly, or why he hasn't been seen in public for days now, is because he does not want to have to answer the question, how can it be that 2 years and 8 months after the attacks of October 7th, Israel is basically receiving military instructions from Iran via the United States?
Now, Noga, we've also heard some particularly inflammatory language coming there from the Israeli National Security Minister. I mentioned in response to the death of Israeli soldiers. So, what do you make of those comments? And I can't see how that helps the situation any.
No, of course it doesn't help the situation at all. This minister, Itamar Gvir, he's the Minister for National Security. He has absolutely nothing to do with Israeli military planning. He can't give orders. He's basically the Minister of Police inside Israel. But his statement and its inflammatory nature, he posted a tweet saying that he wants thousands of Lebanese mothers to cry after these four soldiers today were blown up by what appears to be a Hezbollah IED. He said he wants to see all of Lebanon burning. So this is very provocative, very offensive language. And this appears to be, as much as the the killing of these four Israeli soldiers, it also appears to be a response to US Vice President Vance, who yesterday made very pointed comments directed specifically at Netanyahu's cabinet ministers, basically saying to them, watch your mouths. The vice president said, he said, watch out because it's US built munitions and weapons, and it's US dollars that are keeping Israel going. So we're seeing a tit for tat between the United States and Israel in the public sphere. And I think Ben Gvir's comments address that more than any kind of military orders that might be handed down. But it really is a sign of how well Iran has succeeded through its demands in these negotiations with the United States in really making evident the diverging interest between the United States and Israel.